This morning, Russian drones and missiles struck Dnipro and Odessa. 18 people were injured, including 2 children. In Odessa, drones struck a school, a kindergarten, and residential buildings near the port. Russia also attacked 2 ships at anchor: the Chinese bulk carrier KSL Deyang and a vessel flying the flag of Guinea-Bissau. This is the latest chapter in a war that has rapidly escalated in recent days.
Все летят с моря, и ПВО пытаются отбить, чтобы в город не долетели. Но они иногда летят низко, и поэтому ПВО... Знаете, как я вам скажу? Я в этом доме выросла. Я не уеду отсюда. Я даже сегодня сидела, я плакала, у меня истерика была.
To understand the scale of current events, we need to go back to Wednesday. On May 14th, Russia struck Kyiv with a wave of 800 drones and ballistic missiles. It was the largest attack on the Ukrainian capital since the start of the full-scale invasion. One of the missiles struck a 9-story apartment building. It pierced the wall and exploded in the basement. The reinforced concrete structure collapsed. 24 people were killed, including 3 children. 48 people sustained injuries of varying severity. Rescue workers, police officers, municipal services, and doctors worked round the clock. Neighbors immediately gathered around the rubble. They brought flowers and stuffed animals.
Просто дуже шкода і дітей, і людей, які просто спочивали, щось мріяли, щось робили, ходили на роботу.
Ambassadors from dozens of countries arrived at the scene of the tragedy. British diplomat Neil Crompton did not hide his outrage.
I think that probably makes it the highest number of missile and drone attacks that ever taken place in the history of the world in a 24-hour period.
President Zelensky announced retaliation, and he kept his word. On the night of Thursday into Friday, Ukrainian drones struck the Rosneft refinery in Ryazan. It is just 200 kilometers from Moscow. The facility processes 5% of the country's oil and is one of the largest in Russia. The fire was visible from a distance of several dozen kilometers. But this attack was just the beginning. On the night of Saturday to Sunday, Ukraine carried out its largest drone attack in over a year. 1,054 drones, 8 aerial bombs, and 2 new Ukrainian missiles were used. The targets? The Moscow region, arms factories, and fuel infrastructure. Debris from the drones fell on Sheremetyevo Airport, among other places. 200 flights were cancelled or delayed. 4 people were killed. The distance to the targets this time was over 500 kilometers, which is significant because the Moscow region is the most heavily saturated with Russian air defense resources. They protect their stronghold the most, but Ukrainian long-range strikes are already overcoming this. The Kremlin responded to the attack by imposing censorship on its own citizens. From now on, publishing photos and videos from the sites of Ukrainian strikes without official permission is illegal. The penalty is up to 200,000 rubles. According to analysts, Russia is unable to effectively defend its own capital. What's more, its situation on the front lines is also deteriorating.
Voluntary recruitment, it's not enough anymore. Additional mobilization, well, they could make that decision, obviously, but it would create additional problems, especially in the internal pressure. Hard to say if it would lead to destabilization, but it would be definitely one step.
There is another dangerous piece in this war puzzle: Belarus. Volodymyr Zelensky warned on Friday that Russia is putting heavy pressure on Lukashenko. The goal is to draw Minsk deeper into the war, open a new front in the north, or strike a NATO country from Belarusian territory. Ukraine is already strengthening its defenses along the Chernihiv-Kyiv axis. Behind the scenes, major diplomatic efforts are also underway. Immediately following Donald Trump's visit to Beijing, Vladimir Putin is flying to the Chinese capital. On Tuesday and Wednesday, he will meet with Xi Jinping.